Alright, how's it going, everybody? I am Jason, joined by David. How is it going today, David?
I'm doing good.
That's good. But we are here now, ready to bring you guys our way too early predictions, this time for the NFC. We went live on, what was it, Thursday, David? Going over our AFC predictions. So if you missed that, go ahead and make sure you go ahead and check out that stream. The VOD is always available on the channel under live streams. And you can see how we got to where we are in the AFC. We already have part of our NFC filled in because we did the AFC earlier, but now we're ready to go and get rolling to predict the rest of the NFC. So for those of you guys who have not seen this series we do before, we predict these games way too early before anything is reasonably expected to be good, or good predictions, I should say. So we do as our own little fun thing, have a little fun with it, see what we get, see what kind of wacky things we can get, like the Cleveland Browns winning a Super Bowl, or something like that. So let's go ahead and kick things off here. We're going to start with the NFC East today, and I'll go ahead and lead things off. Here. The Cowboys, in terms of their divisional games, I think that they're going to be able to sweep the Giants, and maybe they beat Washington at home. That's kind of where I'm expecting. I'm expecting Dallas to have a little bit of a step up, but they're still not going to be great, especially with how loaded that division is. So they're going to go 3-3 in the division. Going game by game, I should go ahead and mark these off here real quick. So the Giants get swept by Dallas. Washington loses on the road to Dallas. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. So those are all red. And this whole sheet will get filled in throughout today. So there's the greens. And let's go ahead now and move on to the home games. I think that they can beat Green Bay and Arizona. No, I'm gonna give Minnesota that one. I feel like I'm being too high on the Packers, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that win over to the Cowboys, and then that loss over to Minnesota. So let's go ahead and here, Green Bay for Dallas, they lose. Arizona for Dallas, they lose. Where is that? That's a loss. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. And this needs to be not Cardinals. All right. And then Minnesota picking up a win against Dallas right there. Now moving on to our away games. Chicago and Detroit. I think that they can beat Chicago. It's going to be a close game, but then they lose to Detroit. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple, pretty, I think in my opinion, obvious. Detroit will beat Dallas. Go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, the Bears will lose to Dallas. The Bears, I think, are going to take a big step up, but I do think there are some gaping holes. Oh, wait, we almost forgot Carolina. I think they lose to Carolina. I think they're going to lose to Carolina. Carolina is really an up-and-coming team. I think the Cowboys are just a victim of circumstance here. I really feel like they have a tough schedule for them. So let me go ahead and fill in that record. What did they do in the conference? The NFC teams, they got 1 win, 2 wins, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. So they go 6-6 in the conference. Not bad, but that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all of their 6 wins. All right, moving on now to the Eagles. The Eagles, they're going to sweep the Giants. I feel like the Giants are a long way from competing. And I think that they'll beat Washington at home. That Washington series is really going to be a good one. And then Washington loses in Philadelphia. That puts the Eagles at 5-1 in the division. Let me go ahead and fill this off. The Giants get swept there, and Washington loses on the road at Philadelphia. There is that. Bada bang, bada boom. And there goes that green one for the commies. Now going on to the home games, I feel like the Eagles are going to... Ooh, this is a toughie. You know what? I'm going to give them... Yes, I'm going to give them wins over Chicago, or just Chicago. I am just going to give them a win over Chicago at home. Let me go ahead and find the Bears losing to the Eagles. But I feel like the Lions and the Rams got a shot. The Rams are going to be hungry after what happened last year. Not just because I like the Rams. I think the Rams are going to be a middle-of-the-pack team next year. I truly believe that the Rams are going to be very pissed off after losing to the Eagles twice last year down the stretch. So I really feel like that is going to be a big wake-up call of, they're going to play their heart out for that game and try and do anything they can to win. Will they be able to shut down Saquon? I don't know, but they'll give it their best shot. Moving on to the road games, Philadelphia, I think, is going to beat Green Bay, and I think they'll actually sweep on the road. They'll sweep these three, the last ones we have left. So Green Bay, Minnesota, and Tampa Bay all lose to Philly. That's fair enough. I feel like that's a fair enough assumption there. Let's go ahead and give them, let's see here, they lost what? 3 conference games, so that's 9-3. And overall, it's what? 5 losses? 12-5 for the Eagles. I can see them doing that, defending their standings. The Giants, they're going to, I think, honestly, I don't do this often, but I think the Giants are going to get swept in the division. I really think they are. It's too competitive of a division. It is really just too competitive of a division. If they're going to win one game in the division, it's going to be one of the Cowboys games. That's the only one I see them having even a chance in. So we'll go ahead and move on to the rest of their games. They're going to lose to Green Bay. They'll lose to San Francisco at home. But I think they beat Minnesota. I think they'll beat Minnesota. It's tough to go over in front of your home fans. It really is. So I'm going to go ahead and give the Vikings a loss. I think the Vikings will take a step back because you'll have J.J. McCarthy, which I do like. But it's going to be his first time in the NFL, and they have a decent schedule. They really do have a decently tough schedule because of what Sam Darnold did. So he really just kind of said, screw you. But it is what it is. The Packers beat the Giants, and the Niners beat the Giants. Let's go ahead and give them those wins. And the nice thing is there's progressively less and less games as we get down to the end. So when we get to the NFC West, we're just predicting divisional games, David. All right. Go ahead. Oh, you're going to say something? You're going to say something. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. What in the hell are you doing to the Giants? You're doing to them what you did to, I believe it was the Titans.
Hey, I gave them a win against Minnesota.
Jesus.
All right. Now, for the Giants, I think that they're going to I think that they're going to win against maybe the Saints. Maybe. No. I can't see the Giants winning these games. They might be able to sneak one of the divisional games. They might be able to sneak the Vegas game. But I don't know. I don't see them winning any of these. So the Saints, Lions, and Bears all beat the Giants. Lions, Bears, and Saints. The Aints.
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, that is the lowest record so far that we have predicted.
Yes. 2-15. I don't like giving out low records, but I just don't see the Giants. I mean, their schedule is just, it's tough, man.
Well, Titans fans, at least you don't have the worst predicted record.
It is a tough schedule. So the Commies, I already have them going 4-2 in the division. I think that they beat Chicago. I think they beat Detroit. It's going to be a tough one, but I think they could beat Detroit. But I think they're going to have a what-the-hell game against Seattle. I really think that this team is going to be good, but there's going to be a couple of moments that are going to be like, what is this team doing? So Seattle, I think they managed to somehow pull out a victory against Washington. Where are you? There you are. Because Seattle, they have a shot to do some damage as well. But Chicago, Detroit, they both lose to Washington. All right, moving on now to the road games here. Green Bay, Minnesota. I think we're going to see some kind of fluky thing happen with the Commies down the stretch on the road games. I think they're going to struggle on the road. I'm going to give them just a win in Green Bay, or against Green Bay. They'll be second in the division. They should be a playoff team. But I don't know. Minnesota and Atlanta both beat them. So Atlanta, Minnesota. But the Packers lose. I mean, I think especially Atlanta, they have a good shot at losing to Atlanta because Atlanta's going to be upset. The Falcons had a chance to control their destiny for the playoffs, and the Commies ruined it. So, moving on now. Let's go. Actually, we got to finish up this. How many losses in the division or in the conference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not 74-5, 7-5. And the Commies lost what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 games? 10-7 is fair for this team. I really feel like it is. Now going... Oh, actually, David, go ahead. Actually, I forgot we're doing this division by division.
I was about to say.
Yeah, so go ahead, man.
I feel left out. Okay. So, the Cowboys, they're going to beat the Giants. They're definitely going to beat the Giants. But I do not see them winning either of these games. Actually, you know what? I don't see them winning these two. I can see them beating Green Bay. They're going to lose to Minnesota. They'll beat the Cardinals. I have faith in that. And then these are the road games, yes?
Yep.
I think they'll still beat the Giants at home. But trying to think here. I don't have faith in the Cowboys, I'm sorry. They'll beat the Bears. And they're not beating Detroit, and they'll beat Carolina.
Okay, so now I actually gotta work through this here. So Dallas, the Giants lose to Dallas. Oh, nope, that's a win. I'm a little bit behind you, man. You went very quick through that. You were like flying, man. You were turbo. What is it? We have Chicago and Carolina both win, so... Okay, over the Cowboys, Chicago, Carolina. Wait a minute. Can you do me a favor, David? Can you check what you had the Buccaneers doing against the Jets and Patriots? I realized I forgot to copy that over.
Which team? Tampa Bay?
Yes. But you need to check the Jets and Patriots for what they did against Tampa Bay. You need to check the Jets and Patriots.
The Patriots lose in Tampa Bay, as do the Jets.
Okay, let me just make sure here. Can you fill those in for what the relevant or what the equivalent would be for the Buccaneers, please? Because I realized I forgot to copy that over.
Buccaneers, that's okay. So New England, and these are both wins for them. Just hunting for Dow. Okay. There we go. I'm glad I searched that. Minnesota wins. I had a feeling I was missing one somewhere. And what is that? That is a 2-4 in the division. Conference is what? How many losses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is 2, 4, 6, 8 losses. Or 8, 8 losses. Alright, go ahead and move on. Okay, so moving on to the Eagles. Obviously, they would get the win against Dallas. The Giants look awful. So they're going to beat the Giants. I think the Commanders are going to want revenge, so they'll fall to the Commanders. They'll have an easy win again against the Bears. Look, the Bears love him, but they have some work to do. I don't know about Detroit. I want to say they'll win that, but what's the coaching situation with the Lions again?
Their offensive coordinator went to Chicago. But it's Dan Campbell.
Yeah, they'll win that game. The Rams, I think I have to agree with you. I think the Rams will want revenge. So I think they're going to lose that game. They will take the other game against the Giants. I'm going to be honest. I cannot see the Commanders losing twice to the Eagles. Or winning twice. They'll beat Green Bay. And I have the sneaky suspicion they'll lose to Minnesota. And then I think they'll cap it off with a win against Tampa Bay.
All right, and then you said Minnesota beats them?
No. Minnesota loses to the Eagles. Oh, yes, sorry. Yes. Minnesota beats the Eagles, sorry.
Oh my gosh, 14-3. But all 3 losses came in the conference.
Yeah.
All right. have you got in store for the Giants?
All right, so I wanted to be friendly with them. That's not happening. They're gonna lose both of these games. They're gonna lose to the Vikings, and they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose to the 49ers. I do think they'll beat the Bears, and New Orleans. But sadly, they'll lose to both Detroit. Actually, no, they'll lose twice to the Commanders, and they'll lose to Detroit.
Okay, so they lose to Detroit, and then they beat. You have them going 0-6 in the division. Okay. 6, 5-1. What they have? What 3 wins? Oh my gosh! All right, let's go ahead and move on now to the commies.
All right, so they'll beat the Bears. That's a definite. I think the Detroit game is going to be a close one, but I do think they might have a shot at beating them there. I think they'll beat the Seahawks. I don't see how they lose that game. They will fall to Minnesota. They'll fall to. I can't see them. I cannot see them losing to Atlanta. I'm sorry. I know they're putting their team together and stuff, and they have a good team, but I can't see them losing that game. The only game I can really see them losing is potentially Green Bay.
There we go. Another 14-3. Oh! Wow! So, okay, now... We're gonna have to find a... We're gonna have to do a tiebreaker.
Wait.
No, you're fine. No. You already made your predictions. You're fine. We're just gonna have to do a strength of victory tiebreaker. It'll be a pain to do, but we'll do it.
I mean,
all right. Oh, it's fine, David. Just go ahead and move on.
You want me to start the next division?
Yep, go ahead and start here. We don't have that many games to predict for this one. We have what, 8 games for each team?
Okay, so Chicago, Green Bay, and Minnesota. They'll win both of these. I have faith in them. They'll lose to Minnesota. I think they'll lose both of these games. I think they'll beat Chicago twice. And I think the Rams... Hold on. Did the Rams play the Lions at all last season?
Yes, it was week 1.
Did they win that or did they lose?
I wouldn't say the Rams lost. They started the year pretty down bad.
Yeah, I can't see them doing that, and I can't see them losing this game either to Tampa Bay.
The Lions, okay. And then we got Tampa Bay losing to the Lions. So that gives us what? A division record of 3-3, overall record of 12-5, and we have a conference record of 7-5. All right. Let's go ahead and move on now to the Packers.
The Packers. They'll win this game. I'm sorry, Bears fans. Just based off of last season, y'all struggled. They'll lose to Minnesota. You know what? I'm going to give them the loss against Carolina. I think Carolina might have a shot at beating them. They'll win again in Chicago. They'll lose again in Minnesota. I can't see them beating Minnesota. And then they will beat the Cardinals.
All right, another 3-3 in the division. We got what is that? How many losses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses in the conference.
And that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 and 10 for the Packers. That's kind of low, it seems.
All right.
All right. What do you think? What do you think the Vikings do with the Bears games? Start with the Bears games.
The Bears games. They're winning both of those. There's
All right.
no way. There's no way they're not. And I don't know about the Seahawks. I want to give him the win, but at the same time, I feel like they might lose to them. So I'm actually going to give him the loss on that one. Actually, wait, no, because that's 14-3 again.
Don't worry about the records.
I'll give him the dub.
Okay, now Atlanta. The Atlanta game.
Oh yeah, shit. I think they'll win that one as well. I forgot about the Atlanta game.
Wow, that is very high on the Vikings. You're crazy. All right, now
having the Steelers finish as the #1 seed.
What do the Bears do against the Saints? Who dey?
Huh.
It's in Chicago.
It's in Chicago. Yeah, they're winning that. But they will lose to the 49ers. Sorry. Just being realistic here.
2-15. Those two teams are way off. It is more likely, in my opinion, that these teams get the opposite records of what you predict than they come within 2 games of your prediction. Both of them.
It's early predictions for a reason.
Yeah, we have a little bit of fun. Flipping back over to me. No, that's fine.
Okay.
Flipping back over to me here. I think that Detroit will lose at home to Chicago. They'll lose at home to Minnesota. And I think that's about the only ones that they will lose, because they'll sweep the rest. So Chicago and Minnesota win on the road. Sure, that works. We go here. Where's the Detroit games for Chicago and Minnesota? There and there. That's all green. And that's all red. Wait a minute. How is that all red? Oh, yeah, no, that is all red. So that gives the the Lions a 4-2 conference record. Tampa Bay, they're going to lose to Detroit.
2 games. Okay.
And realistically, the Rams are probably going to lose to Detroit. We always struggle with Detroit in the regular season. I'm just trying to be fair here. So those 2 are wins. The other 2 against Detroit, we have that Detroit and that Detroit. Those are both losses. So that brings the Lions to a 13-4 record. And in the conference, they go 9-3. Moving on to the Packers, I think that they will win at home against Chicago, and they will win on the road in Minnesota. I think, other than that, they're going to lose. So let me go ahead and put those green, and it's going to be red. That is going to be red. Chicago loses on the road in Green Bay. Minnesota loses at home to Green Bay. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. The other Green Bay games are wins for these 2 teams. Moving on now to Carolina. I think Carolina is going to lose to Green Bay. I really feel like Carolina is just not that strong of a team, it's not going to be that strong of a team. But I think Arizona has a chance to pull this one off. I could see those 2 games getting flipped, but that is what I am saying right now. So Carolina beats Green Bay. So I think Carolina is a really good up and coming team, and Arizona loses to Green Bay because, well, they're Arizona. Need I say more? That gets them a 2-4 division record. The Packers in the conference drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. That is horrible. But the AFC games come in clutch. I think they sweep the gauntlet in the AFC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. All right. Now, as for the Vikings, I think the Vikings will sweep the Bears. I think the Bears have a good shot at being a good up-and-coming team, but I don't think it's going to be in year 1 under Ben Johnson. I don't see it over there.
So that's what I'm going with for that. And that puts the Vikings at 4-2 in the division. And the Bears at 2-4. Moving on now to the Atlanta game. I think Minnesota will drop the Atlanta game. But I think that they will beat Seattle. They'll still be an above average team. But it's going to be very, very tough. Seattle loses to Minnesota. And Atlanta beats Minnesota. There is that for the Vikings. Bada bang, bada boom. Looking at the conference, they dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So 7-5 in the conference. Overall, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins, 8-9 on the season. That's fair for Minnesota with a rookie quarterback. Well, technically not a rookie quarterback, but he's a second year who didn't play a single down in the regular season because of a season-ending injury last year. I still count him a rookie. Now, I think that the Bears will beat the Saints, but I think the Niners will beat the Bears. So there we go. That's going to be our greens, and these are going to be our reds. And just like that, we're getting close to the end of this regular season. So let's see. Overall record is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 losses. And overall, they have a conference record of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses. So 4 and 8. All right, moving on now. We have the AFC or the NFC South. And let's go ahead and kick things off here with the Buccaneers. I think that at home, they will sweep. But I think on the road, they will lose. So I think the Buccaneers are just going to struggle on the road. This division is always a crapshoot. It is always a crapshoot no matter what you do. Nobody can accurately predict the NFC South. It's just plain as day. The Bucs go 3-3 in the division. The Arizona game, I think that they will beat Arizona. I think they will beat Seattle. But I think the Rams and Niners both beat Tampa Bay. I feel like that's a fair presumption there. And I feel like we got ourselves a solid set here. The Niners and Rams both win, but the other two in the West lose to Tampa Bay. There we go. The Buccaneers then overall having what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses in the division, or in the conference. And that is actually 8-9. Could they do more? Yes, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. The Saints, I think that they'll get swept by Carolina, and I think they'll beat Atlanta at home. Call me crazy, but I think that's what's going to happen. Atlanta will get a win on the road or at home. Carolina gets swept by the Saints, and Atlanta loses on the road to the Saints. There we go. That's all of our red. And then our other Saint one right there is a green. That puts the Saints at 4-2 in the division. Looking at now the rest of the games here, I think Arizona can get a win over the Saints. I honestly think the West will sweep the Saints. I feel like the Saints have bits and pieces, but I don't think that they are the best version of themselves. Wait a minute. I put those as wins, didn't I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. There we go. Those are all losses. And then the Saints get swept by the West. Man, the Niners really have an easy schedule this year. I just realized that now. In the conference, they got what? 1 win, 2 wins, 3, 4, 5. 5 wins. And overall, they had an 8-9 finish. Okay. Now, as for the Falcons, I think they beat Carolina at home. I think that they will... You know what? I think Atlanta will beat the Niners. I think there's going to be a crazy thing that happens. I think they will beat Seattle as well. I think that is a fair presumption there. So Carolina loses on the road. San Fran and Seattle lose to Atlanta. Seattle and San Fran. There we go. Those are all reds. Rams, Panthers at home, Cardinals. Bada bing, bada boom. Rams and Cardinals against Atlanta. Those are all of your wins. Just like that, Atlanta, I did not realize how high I am on Atlanta.
Damn. 3-3, 9-3 in the conference, and 13-4 overall. Wow. Now, as for the Carolina Panthers, I think they will lose to the Rams. They will lose to the Niners. But I think they can win the other two. Or, you know what? Call me crazy. I'm going to give them a win over Arizona. I'm going to give them a win over Arizona and a win over Seattle. Or losing to those two. Wait, wins or losses? I don't know. What do I think? I don't know what I think. I have broken myself. Okay, so I think that they will... I think they'll beat the Niners. I think they'll beat the Rams. I think they could beat those two. But I think they'll come up with something against those other two. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know what? No, I don't know how much I like that. We'll give them a loss to the Niners. Now that I'm actually seeing it fill in, I like that a bit better. I feel like that is... No, I'm going to give them that win against the Niners again. I feel like that's better. I like that a little bit more, yeah. Okay, so the Niners lose to Carolina. The Rams lose to Carolina. Bada bing, bada boom. And then Carolina gets losses to these two teams. Looking at the overall, they go 3-3 in the division. They go 8-9 overall. And they have how many wins in the conference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-5. Oh, that's where 7-5 goes. So, David, go ahead and take us away with your NFC South predictions.
Right. So, I have to agree with you. I feel like they're going to win. I think Tampa Bay is going to win these games. But they will take a tough loss in San Francisco. I think in Atlanta, they will lose. They will take these two games. Actually, I think they'll beat New Orleans. I think the Rams will beat them as well. Oh, sorry. Why did I put a win? No, they'll lose that game. I think they'll beat Seattle. But I also think they may... Shit, I'm going to go crazy. I think they'll lose to Carolina. Call me crazy. I do not care. I think they'll lose to Carolina.
Saints lose that. And then Rams and Seahawks. So the Rams win, Seattle loses. All right. Wait a minute. Why am I filling in the Saints?
Why are you filling in the Saints?
I don't know. Rams win, Seahawks lose. All right, so that goes and gives you a 4-2 in the division for Tampa Bay. In the conference, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses. So a nice split at 6-6. So that gives them 10-7 for the Buccaneers. That is more than fair. Let's go ahead and move on now to the Saints for you.
The Saints, let's see. I don't think they'll beat Carolina. I'm going to be realistic. I think there's a shot they beat Atlanta. They'll definitely beat the Cardinals. There's no shot in hell. I cannot see a world where the Saints beat the 49ers. With Atlanta visiting.
Saints going to Atlanta, yes.
Oh, the Saints going to Atlanta. Sorry. I think they lose that game. I do think they beat Carolina. They will not beat the Rams. But I think they will cap it off with a win against the Seahawks.
All right, that gives you a 2-4 in the division with a conference record of how many wins? 1, 2, all 4 of those wins. Okay. And that is all the wins that you give the Saints. You're harsh on them.
Yep.
All right, so now for the Falcons. Let's go.
The Falcons, I think, in my personal opinion, they'll beat Carolina. I don't necessarily see them beating the Rams. I can't see them. I think they have a shot at beating Seattle. I do think that when they go to Carolina, they will lose, but they will beat Arizona. I'm gonna go crazy. I think they'll beat the 49ers. Screw it.
Okay. There we go. So that gives you how many wins in the conference? 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. So you can have them going 6-6 there. That gives you what? 4, 8, and 9. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's 8 and 9. How about the Panthers now? All you have is the Panthers games against the NFC West.
Yeah. Well, right off the gate, I think the Panthers will beat Arizona. I'm sorry, but I still think they have a lot of work to do if they want to beat the 49ers. I'm gonna go kind of crazy here. I think they'll beat the Seahawks. Shit. But I think, you know what? I'm gonna go crazy. I think they'll beat the Rams. I
Right.
will think they'll beat the Rams.
7. 7 wins in the conference for this team. And they have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 wins total. Kind of crazy. All right, now let's go ahead and have you move on to your NFC West predictions.
Okay. Is there a team missing? Oh, it's only showing up to the. Hold on.
What?
No,
You're not
it's
missing
not.
anything.
Oh, I'm crazy. I forgot there's only 4. So 49ers. I think they'll beat the Cardinals. I think they will suffer a tough loss against the Rams. Just because the Rams tend to play better against better opponents. I think they'll beat Seattle. And on the back end, I think they'll lose in Seattle. They'll beat the Cardinals again. Again, the Cardinals. I just can't see them winning that game. I'm sorry, but I really do think the Rams will beat them twice.
Excuse? Bro, we just swept them last season, and before that, they owned us. I mean, you made your predictions, I ain't complaining, but like, bruh. Last year was the exception, not the rule. Now, don't get me wrong, I was happy about it. I mean, I was real happy when we swept the Niners, but like, come on, bruh.
Look, I have faith. Is it misplaced? Yes, but I have
Yes!
faith.
Hell yes, it is! 8-4 there, and overall up 13-4. All right, move on to the Rams. I'm kind of scared what you're going to do here because you have been all over the board.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. They're not winning in Seattle. In Seattle, I don't see them winning. I can see them beating the Seahawks. Oh shit. Okay. They will beat the oh god, they will beat the Arizona. But I think they will take a rather odd and tough loss in Arizona.
All right. I did realize, what did the Colts do? Okay, the Colts lost to Arizona. I forgot to copy that over on yours.
You're good.
Okay, so that gives the Rams a whopping 13-4 record. You're way too crazy on them. I wouldn't even go that high myself, but you did what you did. 3-3 in the division, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Oh boy! But you had the Rams sweeping the Niners, so the Rams take the division.
Yeah.
Wowzers! All right, now you got just 2 more games left to predict. Both variants of Seahawks Cardinals.
Okay. They're not. Yeah. Nope. They're losing that game. But I think they'll win this game.
All right, and that is your whole regular season predicted, David. How do you feel?
Like I've done something terrible.
Well, of course, yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers are your top seed, and the Vikings are the top seed.
Don't remind me, please.
All right, so that is what, 5-12, 5-12. Division or conference records. You got the Cardinals going 2-10 and 3-9. All right, so that's your NFC predicted. Now let's go back over and wrap up my NFC with the West. The Niners, I think that right off the gate, I think the Niners are going to be angry from last year. I think they're going to sweep the Rams. Just purely out of the fact, and you know what? No, I'm going to give them a split. I think they'll beat Seattle and Arizona at home. They'll take care of business there. I think they'll lose to the Rams. I think they'll sweep Arizona, but that's it. That is precisely what I'm thinking. So I have the Rams winning against San Fran at home and Seattle winning against San Fran at home. There we go. And then this one and bing, bong, boom, pow. All as losses. So just like that, the Niners are going 4-2 in the division. They are going 8-4 in the conference, and they are going 13-4 in the in the whole thing. I think the Rams take care of business at home. I think they take care of. I think they're going to take care of Seattle at home, but lose to Arizona. I think they take care of Seattle at home, lose to Arizona. I almost forgot to put Arizona's home game against the Rams. Because the Rams struggled against Arizona last year. There's no question about it. So I think we see something similar this year. Rams go back behind the Niners again. But I am confident that the Rams will be a decent team this year. I like what they got. They really showed resilience. The question is, can they avoid going 0-4 or like 2-6 and being dead in the water?
No.
That's the one thing that drives me up a tree with this team. Let's see. In the conference, they have what? 1, 2, 3, 4. They went 8-4, and they go ultimately 11-6. Seattle, I think they're going to split this series. I think it's going to be a home and home kind of deal. The home team wins them, the road team loses them, and that is my regular season predicted for I believe the third straight year I've predicted. Yeah, this is the third straight year I've predicted the entire season way too early. So there we go. That means that we have, what, 2 3-3 teams? That doesn't make sense. The math is not mathing here, David. Let's see here.
Yeah.
The 49ers sweep teams when they're on the road. And then the Rams... the Cardinals lose at home. The Rams and Seahawks win at home. That's 4-2. That verifies those games. Arizona and San Fran. So if we go Arizona and Seattle, they both lose on the road to the Rams. And that would mean that if Arizona wins at home, Seattle loses at home. The Rams. So yeah, that why is the math not mathing?
I do not know.
Well, we'll figure it out at some point, but it's not going to make a big difference ultimately here, I don't think. I don't think any of these two teams are going to be playoff teams, but we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9-8 overall. And in the conference, they dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cardinals dropping in the conference 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 losses. And that is my regular season predicted. So now let's go ahead and move on to our standings. And let's go ahead and sort these up real quick. David, you know how to sort your standings, right?
Yes.
Go ahead and go for it then. Let's sort our standings out. And that means that the Eagles... This is mine. You're on mine.
What?
You're on mine, Anonymous Llama. Alright, so who is my top seed? Ooh, that's actually tough. Detroit and San Fran, do they play on mine? I don't know. Detroit, did they play the Niners? They
Okay,
did not.
I have an issue in the NFC East. The Eagles and the Commanders have the same exact record, including division and conference.
Well, I'll sift through. Just
Okay.
put them together, and
Just-
then we'll sift through ties together. Because this is the fun part. Now we actually have to order all this so we can actually. Let's see.
Yeah.
So Detroit, they went 9-3 in the conference. San Fran goes 8-4. So Detroit actually takes the top seed. All right. Oh, I forgot about Atlanta.
You forgot the Falcons?
I forgot that I had Atlanta at 13-4, and they also went 9-3. But did they play San Fran? They did, and they won. So actually, no, did they play not San Fran? Detroit? Did they play Detroit? Atlanta did not play Detroit. Okay, so we got a little interesting thing to do. What did we do in the
Yes.
AFC? Didn't we just like when it came down to a tie like that? Didn't we
The
just do
AFC was a little easier.
Well, I think the AFC, we just kind of, if they had the same exact thing, we just kind of did a little, who cares kind of thing.
Well, they didn't. The
no, they didn't.
NFC
They didn't.
is the exact same
Yeah, so then let's see here.
twice because it happened in the West as well.
Let's see. We actually have to, we're going to have to do a little bit of math here.
You're welcome.
I'm going to have to do some math too.
Oh my lord.
All right, and then I have a huge bottleneck in the NFC.
Get in line. I have 4 teams with the exact same record, division and conference. 2 in the NFC East, 2 in the NFC West.
Okay, so that's my playoffs, I think. Oh, wait, no. Washington. Yeah, so I have a bunch of tiebreakers here. All right, so I'm going to step through this here now. It comes down to Detroit and Atlanta. Let me see what strength of victory works out. Atlanta wins. And Detroit wins. Let me go ahead and just run a little bit of math here with a big calculator. So, Atlanta's wins. They had the Panthers twice. So, 8 plus 8. They had the Buccaneers. And another 8. They had the Rams, 11. They had the Dolphins, 8. They had the Seahawks, 9. They had the Commanders, 10. They had the Cardinals, 8. They had the Patriots and Jets at 8 and 3 respectively. Then we have the Niners at 13, the Colts, and the Vikings. Colts are 9, and the Vikings are 8. So that's 111 for Atlanta. Detroit had Green Bay, so that's 9. Plus Cleveland, which was, where are you, Cleveland? 5. Plus Dallas and the Giants, so that is 6 and 2. And then we got, let's see, after Dallas and the Giants, we got Tampa Bay, which is 8. Plus Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota, so plus 9 plus 8 plus 8. Plus Baltimore and Cincinnati, so that is 12 and 9. Plus, we got Philadelphia, Kansas City, and the Rams. So KC is 11. Philadelphia and the Rams are 12 and 11. That is going to definitely be higher. It's not! Atlanta takes strength of victory by 1 win. Wow. Wow. Okay, yeah, this ain't happening. They're not getting... Atlanta's not getting the 1 seed. Let's be real here.
And then
Yeah,
who has
you
the higher
off my
seed?
Atlanta Falcons?
They're not gonna get the top seed. I'm sorry. Now we have Green Bay and Seattle to do this for. So Green Bay and Seattle, I don't know if they played each other. Who has the better conference record? Seattle has the better conference record. So unless they played, which I don't think they did, Seattle gets in. Let me just go ahead and check. Seattle, did they play Green Bay? They did not play. Oh no, they did not play Green Bay. No, they didn't. All right, so my playoffs are set. My top seed is the Atlanta Falcons somehow. My number 2 seed, we got, who's number 2? The Detroit Lions. Three seed is the 49ers. And the 4 seed is, I think the Philadelphia Eagles, wasn't it? Philadelphia Eagles. All right, moving on to the 5 seed. We have the Rams, followed by the Commanders and the Seahawks. Rams, 7 is Seahawks, and 6 is Washington Commanders. All right. Let's go ahead now and take a look. This is my official playoff bracket now for the... let's see. Can we shrink this at all? I don't know that we can... Oh, whoa, hello. Maybe? Nope, just barely not. What if I take this and bring it down to like 90%? There we go. Now Yins can see the whole thing here. This is my official playoff bracket for the playoffs here. Let's go ahead and move on to what David has. David, let's see your standings.
It's a nightmare. I have 2 ties in 2 divisions.
Okay, so the Vikings obviously are your top seed. We know for a fact our playoff teams. We know your playoff teams. Detroit is in. The Rams and Niners are in. The Buccaneers won their division. And the Eagles and Commies are in. Let's go ahead. This is bothering me real quick. Let me just do this. Bada bing, bada boom, and boom. So now we have to do the... We actually just go ahead and put this. So we have Philadelphia and Washington. What did they do? Philadelphia and Washington. Washington split. They have the same division record. Okay. So now we go off of strength of victory. Or actually, we would go common opponents. Common opponents is fairly easy. They got... It looks like it goes to Philadelphia here. Yeah, it goes to Philadelphia. Because common opponents, Green Bay was a diverging point. So Philadelphia gets... thing here, so... Oh, not T. X. Oh, whoa. Control Z. All right. And then we go on to the Rams and Niners. And I think once we get through this, you can just read back the seeding to me. I think you can figure that out, right?
Z is clinched, is the best record, and number 1 seed, yes?
Yes. And then the remaining 4 seeds are your division, or remaining top of the top 4 seeds are your division winners, and then everyone else. So the Bucks are going to be a top 4 seed.
Yeah.
The Bucks are going to be a top 4 seed.
The Eagles.
Yeah, but we got to sort this first. We got to sort out the Rams Niners first.
Yeah.
Which that's easy. We go head to head. Rams get it.
Okay.
Because the Rams swept the Niners head to head. So you do you do the Z as the top seed, then you sort your Ys, and then you sort your X's. Okay?
Okay.
So the 1 seed is the Minnesota Vikings. Let's go ahead and put that in.
Yes.
How about your 2 seed?
Philadelphia Eagles.
3 seed would be the Rams, right?
3 seed, yes. It would be the Rams.
And then 4 is the Buccaneers.
4 would be the Lions because they have the better record.
No.
Oh yeah, no, what? Oh shit.
The divisions go first.
The Rams.
So then the Lions are the 5 seed.
Yes.
How about your 6 seed?
That would be. What teams have we not named? Because I have the Commanders.
It would be the Commanders.
It'd be the Commanders, yeah.
And then your 7 seed is your Niners.
Yeah.
All right, so that is David's playoff bracket. That's actually somewhat sensible. This is actually sensible.
Yeah, the only thing that's not is the Minnesota Vikings. That's the number 1 seed.
This is still a somewhat sensible bracket here. The AFC, I don't know what kind of crack you were smoking. Well, the teams aren't bad. The seeding is off.
Yes.
Seeding is way off.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is going to do it for... Oh, that's the wrong thing. I didn't want to do that. Come on. There we go. Well, that is about going to do it for us today. If you guys did like, don't forget to smash like and subscribe, as it does help us out a whole lot. Tells us that we're making content that you guys enjoy. And stay tuned, because on Thursday night, this Thursday, what will that be? February 20th, David and I will be going live for the finale of this series, predicting the entire playoffs using our seeding. So if you want to stay tuned for that, make sure you smash like and subscribe. We also do have another video in the pipeline. I am working on editing right now. Hopefully, it looks like it's going to be out a little bit later than we were initially hoping. Hopefully by maybe midweek I can have it out. But yeah, I guess with that, we'll catch you guys later. Peace out and have a good one.